Are you over-exercising or overtraining? If you are like the women I work with in my virtual practice, you are a high achiever, a go-getter, and you might be over-exercising. In this video, I'm going to tell you a few signs to know if you are. I'm Lori Aikman, and I'm a functional health practitioner helping busy working professional moms boost their energy, lose weight, and balance hormones naturally. All right, so you're doing the CrossFit, you're doing the HIIT workouts, you're hitting the Orange Theory, you're going running races, doing all those things, but are you overtraining? In my practice, I see women that are doing this. They come to me and they're having symptoms in their body, like their hormones might be off. And they're telling me like, I'm having trouble losing weight like I used to. My body's just not the same. These are a lot of the things that I hear. They also talk about low energy levels, just not having the energy and the get up and go that they used to. And a lot of times when we start, I have them fill out their intake form, their questionnaire, and we start talking through and I ask them about their habits. And I'll hear this, oh yeah, I hit the gym. I go like 6 days a week. Or they could be, and they're still able to keep that up. Or they tell me something like this, I used to run races, compete, do all these things, but I just don't have the energy, the motivation anymore. Those are usually red flags for me when I am talking to a new client and they're telling me things like this. They're doing these very high intensity or like long sustained workouts. And I can tell they're not recovering just because they're telling me they're working out so many days of the week and they're doing these long sustained periods. So, and I know some of you, if you are in that boat, and I have been there too, you're probably not liking what I'm saying. But what I will tell you is that the big signs that I start seeing that are truly overtraining are sleep disruptions. I hear this from a lot of my clients, and this is often a sign when I work with them and we kind of diagnose what's going on and we figured out typically they have hormonal imbalances and we're trying to get things regulated. And so they have to dial back their workouts for a little bit. And when they start ramping their workouts back up, that's typically a sign that they're going too fast or they're going, faster than their body is ready, is that their sleep starts going out the window. So they're like, oh yeah, I went for a run or I went for a ride or I, took a class. I couldn't sleep the next night. I was tossing and turning all night. So that is a sign that your body's having a hard time recovering from that high intensity exercise. Another sign is that fatigue, feeling like you just can't recover. Especially my clients that do take some, dial it back and then they're ramping back up and then they go do a workout again and they realize, oh my gosh, my fatigue came back quick. They realize their body just can't recover like it used to. Some other signs that show up is getting sick easily. And another one is getting injured easily. And what's going on there is that because they are overtraining, they're taxing their body to the point where it's affecting their cortisol levels and their immune system. And this is why they're getting sick easily and maybe sick for long periods of time, and they're getting injured easily. Another sign to speak to that you may not know unless you test is if you are overtraining is you do have high cortisol levels. What's going on? So when we exercise is a form of stress upon the body. So that's how we improve our athletic performance, is we tax our body and then our body responds and gets stronger. So think about, if your bicep, if you lift weights, you do bicep curl. When you are lifting the weights, your muscle is actually being torn and broken down, and then it rebuilds stronger, and that's how you get stronger. So we do need that's the whole goal of exercise, is that it is stressing your body a little bit so that it responds and then gets stronger. when we are over exercising, our body is not able to keep up with that and compensate, especially if we are not allowing our body to recover. So we're not giving we're working out multiple days a week without rest days. Over exercising, overtraining, what we're doing is then firing up those cortisol levels. And our cortisol is going to be high and sustained, stay high. And then what I see in my clients, the majority of the women that I work with, is their cortisol level is no longer high. It starts to come down and can kind of get where it's high and low. Maybe it's high when it's supposed to be low and low when it's supposed to be high. And then if they keep burning, some of my clients end up in what I like to call burnout, where their cortisol levels are very, very low. So to speak to, we've just talked about muscles. Another sign of overtraining or overexercising is that you have more profound muscle soreness. So beyond the normal muscle soreness this is lasting days and is taking a long time to go away. So that would also be a sign of overexercising and overtraining. Now, telling you all this to tell you, because my guess is if you are over exercising, if you are overtraining, you are a go-getter, high achieving woman. The problem is you do have to be able to recover. And what we find when we look at the genetics, the actual genetic testing, most women need to be doing weight training about 50% of the time at least, if not more, and then doing cardio maybe 50% of the time. What I find is that majority of the women I talk to are doing a lot of cardio and a little bit of weight training, and that is taxing their body beyond what at a certain point, it's going to tax them beyond what they can handle. And then they start having these over-exercising and overtraining symptoms. The other thing that does happen is these high achieving go-getter women that are over-exercising, overtraining, is that they do push themselves. Typically, they're pushing themselves in more than just one area. They're not just pushing themselves in their workouts. They're pushing themselves in their job and their, maybe they own a business. They're pushing themselves in other areas of their lives too. And because of that, because them being maybe a type A, high achiever, go-getter, typically we see dysregulated cortisol patterns in them, and then eventually they end in near burnout or in burnout. So if you think you are over exercising, if you think you are overtraining, and if you think you do have hormonal changes, like high cortisol levels or dysregulated cortisol levels, I can help you. If you go to the link below, go to laurieeggman.com/coaching, you can learn about how we can work together and I can help you get your hormones back on track naturally. And then you can get back to exercising in a way that supports your body and supports your health rather than overdoing it.